Welcome to more IFC. It is what it is. Just look at this beautiful stuff. I'm going to break it down step by step in the easiest way, step by step, without jumping any step. It is what it is. If you are new to the channel, do and subscribe, like and share, and comment and click on notification. Like I said, I'm going to break it down in the simplest form, the easiest form for you guys. So let's get started. So I'm going to go over the chest measures: 40, length 30, the back, that shoulder to shoulder, 18, and the length of the sleeve, that's the hand, 10 inches. Remember, the measurements are in 10 inches. We divide the chest by 4, and that will give me 10. We divide shoulder by shoulder, 18, that will give me 9. You add your half inch to it, that will give you 9.5. You know, it is what it is. And remember, don't forget to add your sewing allowance on your chest measurement. So let's deal with the calculation here. So you can use your tape measure. You divide it by, you use 40, then you divide the 40 into 2, and you get 20, then you divide the 20 into 2, and that will give you 10, as you can see. So I'm going to mark 10 inches over here. I'm going to add sewing allowance to it, 1.5. You can add 2 inches if you want. You can make it 1.5 and 2. And I'm going to add extra 4 inches. I mean extra 4 inches to it. Don't add more than 4 inches. You can add extra 3 inches or 4 inches as maximum. Your length, you know your length. You cut your length. You measure your length, 30 or 35. Use the measurement of your own measurement. I'm just using this measurement for somebody. So here is what it is. More IFC. It is. Make sure you iron it very well. You can see there's a middle line in there. This is the wrong side of the fabric, so let's concentrate in the middle line. So here it depends the design, how you want your style to be. It have to be 3 inches or maximum 4 inches. So if you look at the design that I just showed, you can see that there is just exactly at the neck, not bigger than the neck. You can see that. So we just measure 3 inches. I want that place to be 3 inches. You can make it 4 inches. So I'm just gonna mark 2 inches over here and 2 inches over there, 2 inches at the bottom as well. So I'm starting from the center. The center is the line. So I'm starting 2 inches from the center. So I fold it this way. Then I'm going to iron it. I need a straight line over there. You can decide to draw a line over there, but I want to use my iron to get this straight line. It's going to help me than marking. So I'm going to mark 2 inches from the center here as well. 2 inches from the center here as well. More IFC. It is what it is. So I'm going to fold that part as well. Remember, I'm working on the wrong side of the fabric. This is the wrong side of the fabric. So I'm going to iron that place again to get a straight line. So when you turn it over like this, you can see we have 3 straight lines. So when you measure it like this, you can see you have 4 inches there. That is 4 inches. So when you join the half and half here, then we're gonna get the 3 inches over there. Gonna get the 3 inches in the middle. So let's continue. Like I said, I'm going by step by step, step by step. So you need to cut this one. We're gonna sew from the top to the bottom from here. So you can use like 2 inches or 1.5 or almost 2 inches, maximum 2 inches, so you can go with 1.5. So we're going to sew from this tip to the bottom of it. This is what it is. So let me go and do this and come back. This one is very, very simple. So let me go and do that and come back, then we continue. So as you can see, I just did that. So I'm going to flip it over. Mora FC, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going for simple. I'm going step by step, you know, to break it down in the simplest, easiest form for you to get the clue, everything to be able to do this kind of design. Very, very simple and easy if you follow my lead. So you can see I just flip it down. You know, the sewing part have to come up like this, and the place that we join, the joining part, the sewing part, the seam side, you just have to let it come out, then you iron it. You make sure that you iron it very nicely and smoothly. So I have two of this. It's better you cut it very long, you know, cut it very long. So I just have two of this. There are two. You make sure you iron it very well, so you can see these are the two. No, the shoulders, we have not cut the shoulder slope yet. So I'm gonna mark, this is the top. I'm gonna measure like 4 or 4.5 or 5 inches from that part. So I'm marking 4 inches, 4.5 inches rather. I'm marking 4.5 inches or 5 inches. So you get it. This is how the design gonna be. You're gonna place it like this. We are working on the middle first. We are working on the middle part. We're trying to do the design in the middle first before we move on to the next level. I don't want to, you know, you guys get confused, yo. So after measuring it, you just have to put it there like that. You can see I'm using the line, you know, make sure that it falls within the line, exactly at the tip of the line. You can see that they're trying to shape it, but I make sure that it falls in the 4 inches, exactly like this. So we're gonna cut the same thing, like 10 of this. You need to cut like 10. I think 10 will be okay. Cut 10. So I'm gonna cut like this. Look at the way I'm cutting it. Just look. I'm just putting on it like that, so it's all facing top. It's all facing the top, you know, it's facing top, so you can see that they are all facing the right direction. They are facing top, so you need to cut like 10 of these. I have like 8 here, right? It's good that you cut 10 of it. So I'm gonna cut this one. I'm gonna put this one aside. Make sure that you don't mix them together. You need to put them separately. You know, don't mix them together. So we put this one. This is how this one gonna fix. And we're gonna take this one at the same time. It's gonna be something like this. You understand? So in the middle, you notice the middle have to face, you know. Exactly. So this one has, you can see they are all facing together. But when cutting this, you need to let the wrong side face up, the seam side. When this one are facing together like this, you can see they are all facing one direction. So on this one, the second one, you just have to let the one facing up, the wrong side facing up, the seam side facing up. You can see. Then you cut. There are two different sides. They are not different sides, two different shapes. They have the same shape, but their direction is different. So if you cut it the same, you're not gonna get the same thing. So you can see that when you put it in way this way, you're gonna fall in perfectly. So you make sure that you try everything on your board before getting into the sewing machine. So we have this one aside. Then we're gonna cut this one to also 10 times. We have this one and we have this one. Make sure you don't mix them together. Make sure you don't mix them together. So when you take this one, you put it in like this. Then you take this one, you cross over like this. as you can see. So let's get on to the sewing machine and we continue doing what we gotta do. It is what it is, more IFC. It is, like I said, don't mix them together, hold them separately. You can mix them together, but you're gonna be, you know, getting tired of looking for one that will match and be looking for this and be looking for that. But when you put it separately, you kind of know that if I take one from here and then I take one from there, even right now it was like confusing me the direction. So I just took the same two at one side. I took two from the same size, so I should have taken one from this here, this side, and one from this side. Like I said, you have to measure like 4.5 or 5 inches from the top. So you can start making top stitch at the center of it, you know, where the X is at the center. You make that small top stitch on it, or maybe you can do what I'm about to do this way. Just have to follow the step. You can, if you want to pin it, you're gonna take a lot of time, but doing this is secure doing this one. So we're gonna sew on top. You make sure that you fix like 2 or 3 lines before you sew on top. You can make top stitch on top, but we are going to sew on top. You make sure you fix it very well, then you hold it very well. Don't top stitch, just go straight. I wanted to go one after the other, and I think that one is not jamming, it's not moving, so I just have to go just straight out. Make sure you don't sew exactly on the line, just come like 0.2 away from the main line that we drew over there with the iron, just away of it, not exactly at the line, just like 0.2 or 0.3 away from the actual line. You just have to take your time, don't rush, just take your time. Fix everything, make sure that everything is being fixed there while you are just top stitching. So from here I will just go fast, a little fast, because this part will consume time. It's more IFC. It is what it is. That's it. Please do and subscribe, like and share and comment. I post videos every Saturday or maybe Sundays. On Wednesday, if I have a short video like 3 minutes or 6 minutes, and I'll post it on Wednesday. So it's advisable for you to click on notification bell, so anytime I post a new video you will be updated. Very, very simple and easy. It's more IFC. It is what it is. Please do well and comment, you know, compliment. If you try any style, just let me know that you tried this style. It was very beautiful and you did it. It was great. You know, just, you know, compliment, you know. I did all this one, guys, for you to make it easier for you to get a tips and idea of it, so that when you you have it in front of you, you know that you already have the idea of it, how to go by it, you know. Even if you have some idea of going by it, exactly, I think maybe you will learn something a little bit, and you know, you add it to what you have. Do you understand? Don't learn one thing, just trying to get more knowledge than having one knowledge. So we're gonna top stitch the other part as well. It's more, you can see we finished with one side. If you want to pin it, you're gonna take your time, you know, blah blah blah. So it's good that you do this way. You just have to top stitch on that. Like I said, I'm going gradually, step by step, without jumping on step, to make it easy for you to understand it very well, to know what you're doing. Make sure you stretch your hand. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and comment, and click on notification bell. It's more IFC. It is what it is. Achit. Sa. You just have to stretch it whilst you are doing it. You are fixing it properly. Then you keep on going, keep on moving. When you reach the bottom part of it, you just have to leave like 70 inches. You know you're going to fold at the bottom, so you just don't have to go exactly at the bottom side. So I'm going to do top stitch over there to hold it down. Just a top stitch in the center, just a small top stitch. To the end of it. And the reason why at the top we left 5 inches or maybe 4.5 inches because of the neck. We have not cut the neck yet, so we're gonna cut the neck. So you need to make all this consideration where your neck is gonna be, so you don't have to be inside the neck, so you just have to be below exactly at 1 inch or 2 inches away from the actual neck that you're gonna cut. That's why I left 2 inches, or I left like 4.5 inches. So after doing this way, you have to check and see that if some has crossed the line, you know, when the X has crossed the line, just have to trim it out. You don't have to let it cross that line. You just have to trim some part that have crossed the line. We need it to fall exactly at the line. So you can see that I'm just trimming some off. If I've seen that you have crossed the line, you don't have to cross the line. You have to stay on the line, stay on the cube. It is what it is. So like I said, when you're doing the multiple sign, you have to consider about your neck, and you have to consider about the bottom, the folding allowance. So you need to know where to start and where to end. You can see this is the top side of it, and you fold it this way. You can see the line. Then we're going to top stitch from the top to the bottom. When you use your iron to do the line, it helps a lot. So because when you flip it this way, you're gonna know that it's fall exactly perfectly. So when I open it, you can see one side we secure that part. So we're gonna do the same thing to this side. Doing the face X side, multiple sign. It takes times a lot, so you just have to, I need to speed it up for you guys without consuming much of your time. The first model style has been formed. You can see how beautiful it is. You can see there exactly. So the inside, the middle one, the top stitch that we did, that's where we're going to put our style, our stuff on that. So I'm checking my measurement. Remember the chest measurement was 40, so divided by 4, that will give me 10. Then my sewing allowance 1.5, that's it. Then I added extra 4 inches, so you can see that we have already, it has left 3 inches over here because 1 inch has already gone from this part. 1 inch has already gone from this part. It is what it is. So we have used this part, so that's why we left, it has left us 3 inches. So now what next? The next thing that we're going to do is, when you look at the design right now, you can see the design. When you look at it, you can see it left with the lines from the other side. You know, if you look at it right now, you can see there's a lines there. So these are the lines that we're going to do right now. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to mark the neck, and I'm going to mark from 4 inches from the center, 4 inches from the center. Here we have 3 inches left, so we need to make use of the 3 inches. We divided 3 inches into 2, that's 1.5, 1.5. So after marking 4 inches, I'm going to mark 1.5 here. That's 1.5 from the 4 inches mark. So I'm going to mark 1.5 here. Then I make a notch here. Then I make a notch here. That is from 4 inches going from 4 inches. Then I measure 1.5. That's the 1.5 notch, 4 inches, and this is 1.5 plus 1.5. So from that part, and I'm going to measure 1 inch. That will be the distance between the two lines. I'm going to mark 1 inch. You can decide to measure 1/2 inch, maximum 1 inch. Maximum is supposed to be 1 inch, so you can measure 1 inch or 1/2 inch. So from that line, and I'm going to measure 1.5 again. Remember, we have 3 inches, so we divide it by 2, 1.5 and 1.5. So I make a notch over there as well. The fabric is being folded into 2, so you make a notch, you're going to affect the other side of it as well. So you can see the notches. So you measure 4 inches of 3.5. Then you measure your, from this notch to this notch is 1.5, and this here is 1 inches. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom. You measure your 4 inches, then you measure your 1.5, then you make a notches at the tip of it, then you measure 1 inches, then you make a notch, then you measure 1.5 also. So the 1 inches is the space in between. The space that will be in between. The space that will be in between can be 1 inch or 1/2 inch. And when you are measuring from your neck, you can decide to measure 3.5 or 4. 4 is okay. Don't go more than 4 inches. 4 is okay. 4 inches is okay. You can see I'm making my notches over here. So let's pay attention to this part. Here we go, here to the side. Remember the notches that we make, the notch, we need to bring that notch together. You open it this way. We have to join the 2 notches together. Like this. This notch and this notch have to face each other like this. On the right side of the fabric, on the right side, not on the wrong side of the fabric. Then you're going to do the same thing at the bottom as well. Then you open it this way. This is the first line that we are going to do. So we are dividing the 1.5 inch to 2. You know, we made 1.5, so that 1.5 we are dividing into 2. Going to divide that one into 2. You can iron it this way. Please do want to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. We're going to fold this way. You know, there's a notch. You can see that the notch is there. If you look at the tip of it, you can see the notch. So we're going to fold, trace that notch to the bottom of it. You can decide to draw a line, get a chalk and draw a line. So I'm just using my iron to make that line, so it become easy for me. You know, is there. You can see this is how the line is going to be. So I just divided the 1.5 inch into 2. So we're going to sew from this top to the bottom. You're going to serve as a guide. So this is the first line. So we're going to go to the second line. We'll bring the 2 notches together, just like that. Sorry for the camera, you know, being shaking and, you know, off the lid. So this is the second line that we're gonna do. You can see that the notch is there. We just the 1.5. We just divide it into 2. You just divide it into 2, like this one. Then you can decide, like I said, you can decide to draw a straight line over there. You know, sometimes when you use a chalk, that kind of dusty chalk, when you use it while sewing, the time that you're going to finish, it can fade away. So doing it this way, the line will not fade away. It will be there to guide you a straight line that you're gonna, you know, just sew through the straight line. It's Mora FC. It is what it is. You can see that the line is there. You just have to sew from the top to the bottom. So let's go. You have to do that same thing to the other side, you know, the left and the right. So if you finish with the left, make sure that you do the same thing to the right side. You can see, let me show you. When you fold it this way, you can see the line is there. That's what we just did right now. When you bring the 1.5, you can see. Then let's go and sew. We just have to bring it back like this. It's Mora FC. It is. So you do the same thing to the other side. You know, there are 2, left and a right. So whatever you do at the left side, you do the same thing to the right side. Whatever you do at the right side, you do the same thing to the left side. So you can see the design has been formed. You just have to go and iron it. Put an iron on it. You just have to iron it. Look at the way I'm ironing it. Just have to iron it very nicely. You have to give it a direction to fall this way. The same thing to this side. You iron the front, the right side of the fabric, then you iron the wrong side of the fabric as well. So you need to iron both front and back. So you can see the design. Voila, we are still on it. It's more IFC. It is what it is. So you fold into two. So it's not time that you add your back. Let's check our measurements. I suppose you have 11.5. 10 plus 1.5. That will give me 11.5. This is my 10. You can see I still have my 1.5 as an extra sewing allowances. So if it is more than that, you can just trim some part off. So just fold this way. This is how it's going to be beautifully. You are not done yet. We're still on it. So it's time to cut the neck. You cut the shoulder slope. I think from here going, you know what to do. So let's check if we did the right thing. Our measurement, the joining part. If you can see that they are accurate, they are falling on each other. You know, that part is accurate. So from here it's time to cut the shoulder slope. You know, you cut your shoulder slope, then you cut your armhole. I know from this step you know how to deal with it. We have not done yet. It's left what, remember the design, the center, we made a top stitch at that center. We made a design at the center, so we just have not finished here. I know from here you know what to do with the neck, with the shoulder slope, to cut the armhole. You know, you divide your shoulder back by 2, you add your 1/2 inch on it, then you measure 9.5 here. Then you can use your sleeve to do that calculation over there. You can use your sleeve as well. So if you want to learn how to cut a neck, you know, a neck to fix any size, you just have to, I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. Do well and check it out how to cut a neck, a perfect neck to fix any size, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, to any size, your preference. Then I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. Do well and check it out and learn how to cut a perfect neck. You can see I'm checking the neck and just calculate to make sure that I have my 16. The neck is 16, so I just have to make sure I have exactly 16. So if you want to pop the neck, it's different. If you want to turn over, like you want the yoke to turn over. If you want to yoke like this, you want to turn it over, you just have to leave a space. But if you want to pop a neck, you just have to measure at the tip of it. So it left with this part, the neck, the front, the yoke of it. I'm not going to pop it, I'm going to do turn over. So just have to measure and see. If you have enough fabric, you just have to let it belong to the armhole side, let it reach the armhole side. But if you have a short fabric, you just have to cut it very short for the front. If you have a long fabric, you have enough fabric, just have to make it long enough to reach to the armhole. But if you don't, you just have to cut it short like this. We flip it like this. This is the wrong side, the right side face each other, then you turn over like that. You put zip at the row shoulder. This is the back yoke. The back yoke don't actually have an actual measurement, you know, but you can make it 8 or 10 when you fold it. You know, when you fold, don't make it very long. We have not done yet, left with, remember we made a top stitch with the multiple sign. The multiple sign that we did a top stitch. There's something that we have to check on that to cover up the multiple sign that we did. So you make sure that your measurement, your yoke here, you can see the yoke, and this is the sleeve, this is the front, and the front yoke. So the multiple sign, like I said, this is what we're going to do. We need to cover up the top stitch that we did that hold it down. We need to cover up that top stitch, so we just have to use this iron crystal to make sure you're very careful you don't burn your cloth. If your iron is overheated, you just have to, you can get another fabric. When you put this crystal on it, iron crystal like that on it, then you put your fabric, a different fabric, place it on top, then before you put your iron on it, if you think you don't trust your iron, and make sure that your iron is not overheated, otherwise you're gonna burn the star. And this one is just in the middle. If you burn it, you need to create a different star from that part. It is what it is. Thank you so much for enjoying. Thank you so much. I know the video is long. I'm telling, the video was 1 hour. When I did first editing, it was 1 hour, so I need to break it down, cut it short to get this 36 minutes for you guys. So that's why some parts I go fast, go real fast, forward it so that we move on. I don't want to waste much of your day. It is what it is. I love you guys. Compliment. Say hi to me, I'll say hi to you back. It's one love. I give you all. Do subscribe, like, and share, and comment, and share your knowledge. We move on. It's Mora FC. After that, you just have to give it a nice iron. Take your time, get some water, you sprinkle on it, then you iron it very well, and you're gonna see that everything gonna lay flat and beautifully. It is what it is. Ache sa Mora FC. It is what it is.